Well, the time has come. It's do or die for toy companies and tariffs. We'll talk about it on this episode of Geek Dad Live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Geek Dad Live. My name is Jay, and with me tonight is my good friend Quip.
Hey,
I'm back home, Quip. I'm not in the in-laws' basement.
That's good. You've made it out of the severed floor. You're now Jay again, and not just JG. So yeah,
I'm back in the
we're
saddle.
happy to have
again.
you back. Look at all those beautiful toys behind you.
Too many toys. But you know what? I won't probably have a problem with buying too many toys coming up, so I'll be A-okay. Can I just say, I think both Quip and I didn't want to have another tariff stream. I thought, one's enough. We did one.
It really is.
Let's try and enjoy our lives in this maddening world. But let's just say this is how these things go. We generally lean on the biggest news thing of the week, and this week it kind of happens to be that this is the biggest thing in news, so we got to talk about it. And we will check in on some other toy news related things, but it's kind of weirdly, it's not like the way COVID kind of cleared out shelves or whatever. I mean, it may very well be. Who knows how this all shakes out?
Mm-hmm.
But it does feel a little bit like pre-apocalyptic, right? Like if this doesn't get resolved and we just don't get any new stuff, then it's just
I'm actually, so I've turned from collecting toys and stockpiling different car parts in order to get ready for the Mad Max. I'm stockpiling gasoline and trying to identify different sources of water. So yeah.
But anyway, we'll dive into it today, and then we'll see. Also, fully aware that there's a deal. I guess apparently that's been made or is being made as we
Fingers
speak
crossed.
in
Hopefully
Switzerland or something like that. I don't know, Swiss, whatever, somewhere not here. So we'll see how that goes, and maybe this will be a much ado about nothing. But
it's usually how we as Americans kind of that's what we learn in geography. We learn America and not here. So
exactly,
it's not here. But hopefully,
I think it's Switzerland. Pretty sure. Anyway,
I think it's Switzerland.
We're going to dive into all of it. Before we get into anything, hit the like button if you haven't done that yet. That helps people find the show. And then let's say hello to the chat. It's hopping as always. Let me scroll up a little bit. Scroll up to 9 o'clock. Why not? It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yes, let's get
regular
Johnny
crowd
on the spot.
shuffling in. Let's see. Tony Johnson is here. Blake Kemp, Deep Space Niner, Fakewood Table, Shiny Plastic People, The Retro Goat, A Little Bit of Whimsy, Make Mine Marvel, Gage Bullock, Mike Giralico.
Nope.
I filmed him pronouncing it to me.
To
make sure I
in the
remembered
basement
it.
now.
He's not in the basement, but I because we ran into him at Celebration in Tokyo. He was there for the meme picture of Dole, Colleen, and I.
Nice.
But anyways, I also filmed him pronouncing his name. I think it's Giralico.
It is. He said you got it. There you go. Got it.
He said I got it.
Nailed
okay.
it. There we go.
Giralico. You know what actually helped lock it in for me? Ryan Dole was like, "Oh, just think of it as like Giralico Giralico critters." And you know what? Like every time, I'm like,
works?
yeah, Giralico critters. But here it is. I am here with Mike
Giralico.
Say it again.
Giralico.
Giralico
Critters.
Giralico critters.
There you go.
See?
You've got to make that a soundbite now. So instead of reading his name in the chat, you've got to
I just hit Giralico critters.
Never mess it up again. Just hit Giralico critters.
Anyways, Chows. I've set a precedent now. If I keep screwing up your name, if you see me somewhere, I will film you pronouncing it to make sure I get it. Jow is here. Mint with card. Matt Bush. Video Power Gaming. Derek Ova. Toygigasaurus. Mike is here. Boo Cat. Tony Taponi. Gady's Toys. Rick's Never Ending Toys. Gage Bullock, Brian Brink, Lab Rat, The Culture Vulture, Mecha Man Blade is here. Let's see. Oh, we got Charlie Weaver in the house. He has the band hammer, so watch out. If you get out of line, folks, you're out of here. Chris Owens, Master Splinter, Jason, and so many more. Oh, Allison Troy. Hey, what a great appearance on the Toy Geeks podcast.
Absolutely. Yes. If you haven't seen it already, check it out on the Toy Geeks channel on YouTube.
On the YouTubes. Great job. A lot of love. Allison, I don't know if you saw, but like somebody in the comments, I think, wishes he married you or something. He was just like, he mentioned that he felt like you were soulmates or something like that, based on a lot of your references in the episode. So
I want to know which one of her ex-boyfriends that is sneaking into the comment section that she always has some colorful nicknames for.
Extra creepy. Riley Bob has been a GDL fan member for 33 months. The aforementioned Allison Troy has as well for 33 months. Let's see. We've got Matt Bush for 33 months. Riley Bob for 33 months. Johnny Cock for 4 months. Let's see. Dave has gifted 5 GDL memberships, and my hope is none of those are Chris, but to the new members of the GDL family. I think I got it somewhere. Maybe. There you go.
I got family.
You got family with the GDL family. Exactly, Michael. There you go. $5 super chat. Record yourself sing it once and put it on your soundboard. Problem solved. I only have so many spots to put sound bites into. If I do that for every single person, it's gotta be tougher. I see you started one here from Toy Collector Magazine. Blake, don't pay attention to what I said. Pay attention to what is done. Oh, very true. Very true, Blake. Wise words. We got another super chat here. Emperor's girlfriend is canon. There you go. I believe it's a reference to the
to the Toy Geeks episode.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I had a brain fart for a moment. It's been a long day. You
can't remember every reference to a 2-hour episode or whatever. Speaking of 2-hour episodes. Oh, and Johnny Cock, hold on. Oh my goodness. 5 Geek Dad Life memberships. So 5 more people, but probably not Chris.
I got family.
Are welcome into the GDL family. Thank you so much, Johnny Cock. Thank you. Member for 18 months. I thank you. I feel more rested. I love doing these shows, Quip, because people are honest with me, right? I try to create a culture of honesty and transparency. So I love that people feel comfortable telling me, Jay, you look rough. You look like you need a break.
There you go. Jay, take a nap. You can end the stream early. Just go lay down. I know this morning we started off out the gate. Actually, I know we kind of got into the episode, but of course, happy Mother's Day to all the geek moms out there, all the moms of geek dads who fulfilled our plastic dreams as little boys and kind of introduced us to all these things. Shout out to did Dan Larson's mom actually steal some figures too?
Well, it's not for me to say, but he does reference that
I don't know what
come home with things.
That's true. So shout out to Dan Larceny and Mama Larceny.
Yeah. That's a good one.
And everybody that's out there.
To all the mothers, happy Mother's Day to my own mother, to my wonderful wife Colleen, who's the mother to my 2 boys, and Quip. I'm sure you may have already just said your wife and your mother, but do you want to give a shout out to yours?
Yep, absolutely. I know. Shout out to my wonderful wife, mother of our beautiful daughter. We celebrated her all day long, which is why I was a little dragging. And then even when I texted you, like we were on the tail end of it, and I was like, okay, all right, been up early, celebrating mom all day long. It's like, don't want to end it on talking tariffs, but we are
No.
still talking toys. It's it's fun, but we got out. We did a lot of fun things. We went
Good.
out to the National Aquarium, which was really fun.
Oh yeah, nice.
They have a rainforest section where we got to see 2 sloths. Those are my wife's favorite animal.
Oh,
So
we got a place with sloths here too. They're fun.
nice. And there's kind of like a bird sanctuary. So she and my daughter are big into birds, and they have like an app for recognizing them, which actually shout out to Abby from
Yes,
20
she got me on
Anxiety.
that same
'cause I know-
app.
Yeah. So she shared the bird app with us, and then my wife had a plant app that I shared through Craig
Oh,
with
picture
Abby
this.
while they were out
I
and about.
love
So it's just
picture
cool to
this.
identify things, learn about nature. So we did that. Went out to lunch at Hard Rock Cafe. I've never been to a Hard Rock Cafe, so
Those
this is
are
one of those
fun.
things that it was right there,
Can
and
I
my
just
wife was like,
say,
"Oh, I want to check it out."
yeah, Hard Rock's cool. Like going there because they had them in San Diego, and as an aspiring guitar player or whatever, it was kind of like my first time seeing a collection.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is how they display this collection, and that was a lot of
Mhm.
fun. That was a lot of and so I'm not saying my room is based off of that, but like the little J, like the early machinations of like one day I'm gonna have a room to
There you
display
go. Nothing wrong with that.
important artifacts. They won't be Jimmy Page's Les Paul, but it's gonna be a Star Wars figure.
You're preserving toy history, right?
Exactly.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, and my wife was commenting like as we were eating there, she's like, "Oh, it's kind of like eating in a museum, actually." So it's funny that you say that. So
Exactly.
yeah, and then got home after that long day because Baltimore is about 2 hours from us with
Yeah,
traffic.
Bmores, a little ways away.
Yeah, so then we drove back and I cooked steaks for dinner. So I was a little tired, but I am slowly becoming energized from, all the
Reborn.
toy warriors out there. I'm channeling your energy so that I can match Jay's energy. I don't want to flip-flop where Jay is now energetic and now I'm just kind of like, whew, now I'm wiped.
We're
Right?
gonna be fine. Don't worry. We're here, Quip. We're here. I do want to post some chats here.
Yep, let's
Dan Larson responding to
Dan Larson.
second generation crime family. Praise be the moms. A lot of we got some bird lovers here.
Awesome.
Ryan Toll, happy Mother's Day to Colleen.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, I haven't had Ryan. I need you to come on your show. You need to come on ours. I haven't chatted with you since Celebration, which is too long.
Have him jump
dollars.
in for an international perspective, right? We're talking about this from Americans. If he's got the link, he can hop on if he would like. If he's not too,
it's true. He still has like admin access, I think, to this stuff.
He can jump in anytime. He can actually jump on and end the stream.
Yeah, he
boot
could
us and
shut down the
completely
stream
take it
if he
over.
wanted to. Okay. We're already like 12 minutes in. I don't want to run too long before we get to the main topic, but just real quick.
Focus.
This week, Toy Geeks. I remember last week I was like, hey, really excited about the next guest for Toy Geeks because we've been covering Power of the Force 2. And I was like, but tough with the schedules and stuff. But it actually worked out. And the next episode, really excited about it because one of my favorite podcasters is joining us. And it is Griffin Newman from Blank Check with Griffin and David, the George Lucas talk show. He plays Watto on the George Lucas talk show. He also voiced Orko in the Masters of the Universe series on Netflix. And if you know Blank Check, you know that he always wants to talk about merch and toys and stuff, but usually they're like 3-hour-long episodes and they don't ever let him like talk toys. So really pumped for him to join. Awesome. And he's got some incredible stories. He might have, I don't think I'm overselling this. He might have one of the most incredible toy, like from his youth stories that has been shared in the year of like the total amount of episodes that we've had so far. It's incredible. So this episode will drop on Tuesday, 1998, part 2, special guest Griffin Newman. So be on the lookout for that.
That's awesome. I'm excited for that. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. Oh yes, he was Arthur in The Tick. Lot of great things. So look forward to that one. Okay. Okay, let's jump into this. I can't stall anymore. We got to talk about this damn thing. Okay.
Let's do it. Rip the
So
Band-Aid off.
last week,
Mhm.
we mentioned, it was kind of part of the main episode, that hey, Hasbro's putting this little language here that get your pre-orders, get your prices locked in by May 9th.
Planting the seed, right?
Exactly. It's like, what? Okay, is this like new lingo now that we got to use in this new kind of post-tariff world? And lo and behold, on May 9th, at least on Hasbro Pulse, they then pulled all of their pre-orders from the site. So the pre-orders are still there, but if you click on any of them, you will see that it says temporarily unavailable, right? So they have these pre-orders up here, and then you would think you can pre-order them. They don't say sold out; they just say temporarily unavailable. Yes, and so you have this. You have Big Bad Toy Store. Sorry, say that if you pre-order Hasbro Marvel Legends prior to 5/9, you are locked into the price of that order. But for any that are pre-ordered after that, you will be beholden to whatever the tariff adjustments could be. So it's here. The tariffs have arrived. Begun. The toy tariff wars have. Or have they? You know, and Mondo this week posted, hey, starting May 6th, select pre-order collectible products for US customers will include a tariff surcharge fee. And of course, you had Mattel mention, hey, this is going to increase prices. We're going to consolidate and we're going to focus on movies and less about toys. And then the American president said Mattel was a country and said that they would put 100% on just Barbie dolls, 100% tariffs on Barbie dolls or something like that. Anyway,
Yep.
This is the world we live in, Quip. And we knew this was coming if nothing has changed or if those 145% tariffs were left in effect. And here we are. Quip, we're both in our Discord. We're both kind of checking in, trying to keep a pulse on toy collectors. Kind of what's your read of collectors as a whole right now? And people in the chat, feel free to share your thoughts too.
Yeah. I know at least for the family members that are in the Discord, a lot of people are taking this moment as so it kind of goes with some of the New Year's resolutions that people were sharing in early 2025. Not like this, but a lot of people were kind of saying they were planning on slowing down. They were planning on pivoting, kind of refocusing maybe on display options, lighting, not so much, just adding more and more figures and hoarding figures, but really kind of paring down their collections. And so conversation has been, and I feel like I've shared it on Geek Dead Live as well, kind of the mindset of, I know a few people who I talk to regularly they're saying, okay, now's the perfect time. I've been procrastinating on listing a bunch of these figures that I don't intend to keep. So let's kind of get the eBay store up and running. This is potentially going to be a good time for reselling. Not necessarily to price gouge, but just to kind of, fill up your coffers, clear out your corners, and to cover some of those tariffs. Kind of the same mindset that a few of the toy companies are. We asked some questions last week. Why would Super 7 impose tariff surcharges on stock that's already here? And then we kind of postulated or we kind of hypothesized, okay, maybe they're trying to cover it. Maybe just from a business standpoint, they're trying to cover their costs, right? And maybe that's even potentially why Hasbro has taken this path with, okay, we're going to temporarily pause pre-orders to really kind of wrap our minds around, okay, what's our messaging going to be? What is the fee going to be? Because they don't want to come in too low to where it doesn't cover it. They've seen other companies come out and kind of say what they're doing, show what they're doing. Super 7 at least had the surcharge that they shared, and then people kind of freaked out when the surcharge automatically showed up on, orders that were already here.
Yeah, current existing.
And you've got Super 7 who just recently restocked or at least put back up on the website whatever stock they were holding for QC issues for the cartoon diorama. But we saw that that's gone up just in the matter of 2 months from, I believe it was 150. Now it's to 179.
Yep.
So, or sorry, now it's to 180. So basically, so it's jumped up 30 bucks. Is that kind of a baked in surcharge where they're trying to cover future things and they're not as upfront? I don't know. That is me again, just guessing why that price jumped up.
Mm-hmm.
But different companies are trying to take different paths. People kind of responded to Mondo's surcharge on the Attack Peter Godzilla, the Lino Cut Godzilla that just got announced. But thankfully, he got a sellout, which there is no doubt in my mind. Those things always move fast, right? They're really awesome.
Well, especially when he had the exclusive with the Godzilla chasing the boat. Did you see that one? He was anyway. Sorry, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, and so the figure though, because you're right. He did just have a print, and then after the print sold out, which I don't know if the print sold out entirely. I know a bunch of it sold out like immediately. Some of the higher quality, like special edition ones, and then after the print came out, he also did a Godzilla, which is cool. Which is going to go well with the Mecha Godzilla that he's done. It's going to go well with his Takoro as well. Takaro. Sorry. And then, but anyways, there was a surcharge. I want to say the figure was 185. The surcharge was about 38 bucks. People still bought it. They kind of looked at it. You know, there were some jokes in there. I think it was Michael. He kind of mentioned, "Excuse me, sir, I did not order this $38 surcharge." Right? But
it'll just be that thing, right? Like that extra charge, especially on the Mondo side, unless things change. And I'm seeing people in the chat say, "Hey, there's a trade deal. I know it's been announced, and it's I think on both sides, it's been verified that a deal is either being reached or has been agreed upon or whatever." We do not know the details. No, it was like
just a couple hours ago. Okay.
Yeah, I think he posted it on something or
awesome
social or some shit. But
nice.
I get no details were in the announcement, so it's one of those things like, well, let's see what it actually is before we know, and then we'll kind of be able to go forward. But so we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. So again, hopefully all of this pause and price increase was a momentary pain. We'll still feel the effects of it because you're seeing news reports that like ports are empty, so there will be some level of like disruptions to supply chains, right? And unfortunately, I think us living through COVID, we're already not adapted, but we've lived through it, so I think we know what to expect there.
Buy your bidets, ladies and gentlemen.
But hopefully, there's deal day tomorrow. That's up to chance. We'll see. And who knows what that deal will be, right? If it's still like 80% or something, it's gonna affect the prices. So we'll see. But it's kind of one of those things like I wouldn't claim victory or like everything's gonna be fine until we know for sure. But all great points, Quip, and I think you're right. That is kind of the sentiment. We were already a lot of collectors kind of feeling the over glut of stuff and trying to trim back, and this almost kind of reinforces that, which probably concerning if you're a toy maker, right? That's usually on pretty thin margins. But let me plus in some of the chats from some of the comments from the chat.
Let's hear from the people. Yeah.
Let's hear from the people. Chris Mori, I just had a retro collection pre-order canceled this week by Target, citing problems with Hasbro. That was one.
Yeah, Target cancels pre-orders all the time, though.
Yeah, they do. Them and but
but
now
still
more better excuse, I guess. Yeah.
There you go.
Buka, at least everything seems to be doing better than Super 7 in regards to all this. Yeah, it's an optics thing, you know. It
is optics.
It's how you communicate these things and how you implement these things. And Super 7's had their foot in the. I mean, honestly, every company's done it, right? But yeah. And then let's see. Tony Johnson says patience. I do think there's a bit of patience you have to have here, right?
Because do not panic. Persevere.
These things are going all over the place, and even if this goes through, there's far more important things in life than toys, right? But
precisely, yes.
But again, at the same time, this is our escapism. This is our passion and pastime, right? So, Angry Elf, where are our Jedi negotiators at? We watched Phantom Menace this weekend because Zach really wanted to watch it. So that one's definitely hitting close to home. Shiny Plastic People, we're sad. I gotta get those retros from somewhere. Sean Daly completely put the brakes on new figures. Going to resort to stuff that's already available or toy hunting at shows and
Yep.
conventions.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A lot of comments like this. Rick Jones, I'm defecting to the land of Mattel. Giovanni transitioned to Transformers only months ago, and luckily the Chinese store I buy from is skirting the tariffs. Otherwise, I'd be stopping collecting. Hopefully that keeps going. Hopefully whatever loophole they have continues for you, my friend. Gage, I think I'm going to focus more on vintage through this situation.
I think that's what a lot of people are doing.
I think so too, myself included. Actually, I always do vintage anyway, but I'm a mix of vintage and new. I'm just.
I've seen price starting to creep up on some of the Power of the Force just a little bit. I don't know if it's the Toy Geeks bump, right? I'm just. A lot of people are pivoting to vintage. I'm not going to share which retro lines I've been looking at, but I've absolutely been thinking, okay, well, only thing I'm waiting on right now from a modern line, which I really hope gets through, is the X97 Sentinel. Once
I think that one, if they're saying lock in your price by May 9th,
so that's what I'm hoping to.
My assumption is, based on them publicly saying this, unless something goes terribly wrong, they'll eat whatever tariff thing hits them. That's my guess. Maybe it's too optimistic of a guess, but just in how they've communicated, they haven't said anything to the effect of, hey, your previous pre-orders at risk. No, they're saying, hey, after May 9th, it could change if you pre-order then. So we'll see, hopefully. Matt Bush, how do I get a Mattel passport? I'm happy.
Mattel Visa.
Yeah. Exactly. Happy current pre-orders already placed aren't being canceled.
That
Rob, can I move to the country of Mattel? They've got Hot Wheels in DC. Things seem happier. Chris Kenny, I'll be more selective. GDL rocks. Thank you. Riley Bob, the toy bubble was starting to get out of control. If you're collecting mini lines, we were eating good. Use this time to army build, fill gaps, or focus on primary collections.
Bingo.
Charlie Weaver, $10 super chat. Thank you, Charlie. I have so many boxes in my basement at this point. I think I'll begin going down to the store every week and slowly add things to my toy room. I have enough to get through the 2026 midterms. Love that, Charlie. Were we unwittingly or unknowingly toy doomsday preppers?
Do you have pegboards and actual signs and a little basket that you can walk up? Are you going to pretend, ask your wife if you can get it? Like, please, honey, can I get...
But I definitely got tubs of unopened toys like stowed away in the basement.
There you go. That's going to be
a good shelf life.
That's going to be the guzzling in the toy collecting community, right? If we go to a toy show and you're set up to sell, but you've basically put all your toys in a configuration of a throne, and you're just kind of sitting on high, looking down upon the people. Yeah. There you go.
You should have been hoarding these for years, like I was.
Oh, fun times.
Or if I have to trade for toilet paper, I've got something to trade, I guess.
There you go.
Exactly. I know the Chinese vice premier said the sides had reached an important consensus. So again,
that's good.
The pre-words being spoken seem positive.
That's good. It's a positive thing.
It's a positive thing. I'm not selling. This is my brag booth. Those are the worst. Can I just say, just real quick, little side note. And Quip, I'm curious your thoughts here, but I think there is nothing worse in a toy shop I see this more often than a toy show, but in a toy shop where there's a shelf of really cool stuff, and you go, oh, awesome. How much is this thing? And they say, oh, actually, this section's not for sale.
You know what they say, Jay?
I hate that.
Some cost a little, some cost a lot, but I'm $1 million man and your figures will be bought. Is that what it is? Yeah. So, I mean, everybody's got a price. It's just, that's kind of I agree with you that where it's like, why is it on display? But I get it. Sometimes people just want to see a USS flag, right? I wonder how many people are going to have those Mythic Legion Baethiers, kind of have 3 of them lined up and say Dracarys, right? No, they're not for sale. This is just my display that I get to share my 3 dragons with people. Yeah, I won't knock it. It depends on, so having a shelf in a toy store, right?
Sure.
For decoration is different than if they have like multiple cases or different things, like all over the place, where the things that you're really interested in potentially buying are not for sale. So I will give them the benefit of the doubt. I will give toy store owners one shelf, maybe even one case that they keep behind someplace, but
No.
nope. This is where you sell. If it's your collection, bring it home.
No, that's fine. I mean, that's fine, I guess. If you somehow make that display look significantly different than everything else in the store, so that way you don't have any. But even then, I feel like that's pushing it. I feel like it's pushing it because now if it's a cool, like, okay, so Cro-Mag Toys, which is right across the street from me, basically,
Mhm.
they actually had 2 of the KB Toys toy soldier stands. I don't know if you
Nice. Okay.
remember. I don't know if you remember this, but usually like
Yeah,
like near the
yeah.
doors are these 2 big KB Toys,
Mhm.
toy soldiers. And so whenever one of the local ones here went out of business, Larry, who owns the shop, bought those 2 display toy soldiers, and he's just had them kind of on display in his shop. Never for sale
Mhm.
until Pete
Exactly.
Davidson was in town.
Mhm.
And he was doing a comedy show at Charlie Goodnight's, a little comedy club we have here. And he came to the shop because he's a collector of toys and other random stuff.
Mhm.
And he saw the KB Toy Soldier and he said, I have to have this. Name any price. I will pay you it to buy. He wanted both of them.
That is why those figures are on display and not for sale. They say so. What it should say is they're not for sale to you. Like, do they usually look you up and down and go, it's not for sale? Or is there a
Once you
sign?
know there's like a celebrity that has the cash.
Yeah, then they're like, absolutely, everything is for sale. Everybody's got a price.
So what you're saying is I don't have Pete Davidson BD energy. BDE.
No,
Big diorama energy.
big diorama energy. There you go. See, that's it. If he's got the money to throw around, good on him. I can't say I'd do anything different, right? If we were to switch places. So yeah, that's all. You just got to think about it from that perspective.
Anyways, he paid him a lot of money for it. I know that. Thousands of dollars. So good for Larry, but he kept one. So now he just has one
Okay.
of the toy soldiers in there for KB Toys. And then Pete Davidson somewhere has a whole nother angle of that. Okay, anywho.
Yep.
Anything else you want to say about this? Final
Stand
thoughts.
fast, as many people are saying in the chat. We're not trying to induce panic, but a lot of people already kind of have their plans in place, right? Look at vintage. Toy Collector said it earlier. Go to toy shows. Check out toy stores in your area, or just slow down collecting, right, so that you can eat some of the costs. It's encouraging to see Mondo still dropped the Attack Peter Godzilla.
Yeah.
I was concerned about that for a little bit because I was like, okay, they pushed it
I'm sure
back.
they were concerned about it
everything.
too.
And we might be, this might be a good time to pivot even to the next topic that we were excited to talk about. But I know there was some speculation about RGB, right? Everybody was excited. What's going on with the RGB line? Oh my goodness. And I'm thinking, look, correct me if I'm wrong, Jay.
Okay.
As one of the leading real Ghostbusters fans, you've waited this patiently for decades in order to get this toy line.
I know.
If things don't get worse, right? Say it was the worst even before, because tomorrow we're gonna get an announcement. We're gonna hear, okay, what's kind of the status of things now after some of the conversations, right? After the Jedi negotiators and whatnot. So previously though, right? So even if there was a surcharge similar to the Attack Peter Godzilla, surcharge was $38 for $185, right? That's pretty close to $200 for the two. So it's $202 for the 2-packs. So round it up, call it $45 for a surcharge, right? So now you're paying $247 instead of the $202. Is that a deal breaker for you in any way, shape, or form as far as picking up the 2-packs? And if we can assume that it's going to be proportional to the cost, well, if you're only buying the Ghostbusters and potentially, Janine, you need the Janine figure, right? So say you're not doing the 2-packs with the monsters, you only got 3 figures to go, and their single packs are going for 101, which is about half of that 185, price tag. It's a little less than that, or sorry, a little more than half. But so now you're going from 101 to call it 120, 126. I mean, is that the end of the day, or is that the end of the world? No.
It hurts.
I think I think people are still gonna pick them up.
It hurts. It hurts. Because the price was already kind of pushing the max of like what the bounds of what any of us were comfortable with, right? So if it is what it is.
Mhm.
And I think you've said it a few times, but just like at least with real Ghostbusters, there's not as many we need to get there, right? So there's that. But it's still expensive, and it's worrisome because say if those now are like $250 or whatever, Mondo might say, okay, we'll do the 4 Ghostbusters. They've teased Janine and the ghosts that come with them, and that's it. And so
that would be a bummer.
There's one
sunset the line earlier,
right? Exactly, because then it's just like the economics. Maybe they don't sell as many now because it's too expensive, which is completely understandable. That is a concern, right? Like that's what I'm more concerned about. Like, yes, paying $250 for a figure would suck, obviously, but I would worry about its impact just to the line as a whole, because I would assume less people are going to be buying them. And Eric, I see your chat here. Yeah, absolutely. We've talked about it already.
Yep,
that there's
exactly.
this deal that's been announced. We don't know the details yet, so we're gonna hold out on relaxing until we know for sure, right? I think that's the idea. Exactly. Mondo RGB was already beyond what we felt comfortable paying for it, right? And so, we'll have to navigate that when it comes. But again, I think Mono did a good job just explaining it, being very clear. This is what it is, and we're gonna go. But and again, Michael Miller, I agree. I think 202 was really pushing it. And what if they have to like drop the free shipping or something, right? So then that's like another $30, and then you're pushing like $300. And sure, so maybe we just get the next 2 dudes. Maybe we don't even get Janine in that scenario because they just don't sell enough and they just kill the line.
Maybe they adjust their quantities. Yeah.
And Dollars, you're right. Yeah, the deal could still suck for everyone. 100%. I think the UK one was still 10%. So we'll just wait and see. Yeah, exactly. The deal UK got was still 10% tariffs. Still got to pay those. So it's a wait and see. It's a wait and see. Agree. Gady's Toys, no Janine, and we right. But again, like their hands might be tied. If there's just not enough people buying it, then maybe they don't go that far. So we'll have to see. Ryan Dole, Americans should have to pay for shipping. Dole's gonna get his you know what? He's been consistent. He's been consistent.
Do you hear the geek dad singing the song of angry nerds? I don't know. Just the whole no Janine and we riot.
When tomorrow comes. Okay. Let's see. This is where I'm at right now. I'm gonna support local sellers, right? I got the toy shop across the way from me. I got John's shop in Sanford. Got toy shows, conventions, toy hunting in general, which has always been a big component of my toy collecting anyway, right? It wasn't until the pandemic really that I got and Ghostbusters and Motu kind of coming back to toy shelves that I kind of went hard into buying new toys. Even though I always buy new toys, but that's when I really got into it with those lines. So, it's kind of going back into the vintage waters or going deeper into the vintage waters in the worst case scenario, right? In the worst case scenario that the exorbitant tariffs stick, or even if they go up and things just get a bit too far out of reach, then just go to vintage waters. But you are right, Quip, in that scenario. That probably means the prices for vintage stuff goes up, and that's the way we work. So Quip, are you vintage, or are you just kind of a wait and see right now? You're a more cautious, or not? You're a more responsible toy collector buyer than most people I know.
So right now, I'm getting ready to sell things. I'm looking at a pile of boxed and weighed, and I need to measure them. Just kind of go ahead and get stuff up onto eBay. I'm wanting to go vintage, and there are
Yeah.
2 or 3 lines that I'm
You're
thinking of.
vintage
But
curious.
as Ryan Dole put it in the chat, he said I'm gatekeeping. I'm not gatekeeping. I'm trying to keep the price down. Anybody can go on to eBay.
Listen,
and search
Ryan
these
Dole
things
saying
like I do.
anything about gatekeeping is rich. Okay,
Yeah.
dollars. I love you, buddy.
But now there are 2 or 3 lines, vintage lines that well, I'll reveal one of them, which is because it's already up there. So if it gets even more crazy and just super or becomes really unobtainium, then
You can
let's let
save it
Cookie
for
Crumbles
after
do it.
dark. We could keep it behind a paywall.
And Toxic Crusaders, I'm big into them.
Oh, yeah, you're
I was
toast
excited
anyway.
about the Super 7 line, and that kind of slowed down, except for you can get all the Toxies your heart desires. Yeah. We got Super 7's Toxie Emporium right next to Dole's Floor Emporium. So I was excited for that line, and things kind of
Yeah.
slowed down. I was even excited about the figures that were teased in Toy Collector, but hey, again, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Doesn't seem like much else is going to happen with the newer, updated line. So cool, just go vintage. I know Trick or Treat is coming out with some unreleased figures. Me personally, I like the packaging of the vintage more than the new kind of toxic waste barrel
Yeah.
packaging, but it's still cool. Trick or Treat stuff is fantastic. It's just what's going to happen with that line now? Because is Trick or Treat? Would you consider them a mid major, or are they an even smaller
No,
boutique?
they're smaller than
toy?
mid.
Yeah, exactly.
They're still boutique.
So
Yeah,
if mid majors and even the majors are being affected and pausing things, then
I say they're at the most at risk, right? Like
Yeah,
Formo
yeah.
Toys, like I worry about all of them for sure. Absolutely.
Exactly. So hopefully they weather the storm. Hopefully, again, it is good news tomorrow. And comments tomorrow will be, look at these ridiculous oafs panicking over nothing because we got news in the morning that everything was fantastic. So
Well, related to, I do want to plus this thing is
Okay.
I think we need to be responsible about that, right? And I think
Mhm.
Dan puts a good point on here. Any deal that is not a complete revocation of the tariffs is a loss for the U.S. Just a matter of degree of the loss. Exactly. And Blake puts here, there was already a 5 to 7% tariff on a lot of Chinese imports prior to this nuttiness, with some exceptions, of course. I think there's like an under $80 loophole or something that was taken. People took a lot of advantage of.
Yeah.
Like it's how Temu and stuff could just send in things that were
super cheap. Okay.
Yeah, super cheap. So yeah, if it's anything less than that was already set there, then it's still going to be a tax on all of us consumers, right?
That's fair perspective as well. It might not be as bad as some of the back and forth and one-upping that was kind of going, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna raise you a Googleplex. It's like, okay, all right. Cool.
Right, exactly. And Charlie Weaver, very good point. I want to hedge expectations. The potential deal is 50% tariff versus 145. 50 is still insane.
But it's not 145. It's not 145. So
it's not one. Well, in 145, it's just everything's done.
Yeah.
50%. Let's just think about that. Think about if all of a sudden, and most sales taxes around what, like depending on where you live, 7, maybe if you're cheaper areas, 6%, maybe expensive areas, maybe 10% sales tax on something. What if your local whatever said, we're putting a 50% tax on all the stuff you're buying?
Yeah.
That's rough. It's
rough.
Anywho, but hey, that's why voting matters. Your people elected representative matters. Yeah. And you can always call them and voice your displeasure. Or maybe you love this, and for you that likes that, cool. But I think for a lot of people, I think it's gonna hurt across the board, regardless of political opinions. So we'll see. We'll see how all of that works out. Let's move on to more fun things, right? Can we move on to more fun things?
Yes, we're done.
Yeah, I'm
moving
done.
on.
I'm done. Hopefully this is the last time we gotta talk about this, because it sucks. It sucks. Let's talk about something pretty cool that I think we're both very excited about.
Absolutely.
Now, Ken, hopefully this deal comes through that some people are really excited about, and we don't have to pay. By your guesstimates, you kind of did the math on the RGB. What do you think? It's be like $70 on top of?
How much are the X-Men figures usually? Are they like 240?
Yeah, around there. 240,
Okay.
250.
All right. Let me crunch the numbers real quick. This is fun times. So just do it quick.
And while you do that, Matt had
Yeah,
a
yeah.
reviews. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. I got around Tariffs by categorizing it as sex toys, just a tip. Thanks. Well, glad Flip War is good to go.
Yeah. All right. So we got 38.
Yeah, 250. So probably at least 300. 250
So
for
it's
limited
about
editions.
so if these are usually 250 for limited editions, that would put the tariff surcharge that was added to the Attack Peter Godzilla was about 26%.
Sure.
So that puts the surcharge at about $65, $66. So adding that to the 250, you're looking at what, 315?
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. You're looking at 315 after the tariff surcharge, potentially. And that's if it's proportional, right? I don't know where they got their numbers from. I don't know how they landed on $38, but I'm kind of using that as a starting point to estimate where these figures might fall. That's all.
Exactly. So it's real quick back to the Hatter comment. A lot of comments on just the tip. And then Tony the Tiger is absolutely a sex toy. Did you open your Tony the Tiger yet?
I did not open Tony the Tiger.
You
Who
haven't?
are you talking? Who are you talking to? I am a mitten box collector.
You gotta rip, y'all in this chat. We need to cure Quip. We need to open that stuff up.
You just cursed at me. You deeply offended me. Have I opened my toy?
You wound me, sir. Okay, yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be spendy, but okay, this is one, and I know if Dolars is still here, and we talked about this a lot. Nightcrawler is my X-Man, because of the arcade game, because of Pride of the X-Men, the original Toy Biz figures. Nightcrawler was my dude. He was the first. Yeah, I'm the first figure that I had to search out to try to find. He just wasn't on toy shelves, but
Sega
I knew
Genesis
he
game came in clutch.
The Sega Genesis game. Like Nightcrawler is my favorite. Has always been my favorite. And so, I got the brown suit Wolverine. I'm going to get others.
You're building out the Pride line.
I think I'm gonna go the Pride angle because
Okay.
they've got Cyclops.
Easier for you to keep it tight too.
Exactly. And then I would just need like Colossus, Dazzler.
And they've got the parts for Dazzler between Rogue and even some of Jubilee's accessories. They could do a Dazzler because they're doing con exclusives.
Yeah.
For those, right? Yeah.
So Dazzler, and then I think I'll still get that Rogue because she's just incredible. Whatever. Theming be damned. But this is a must buy, and I think this will be the true test of if this magical deal isn't as magical as some are claiming it'll be. This will be the true test of like something that people I think really want. And this is different, right? This is a very expensive item, so it's not the same as like a Marvel Legends Nightcrawler, right? It's just the audience is way smaller for this than that. But I think this will be like a canary in the coal mine a little bit on the effect. I think
it'll definitely be an indicator because Nightcrawler, to your point, right? And I'm even thinking back to like I don't know. A lot of people in the chat are older than me, but I feel like I Mandela effect Nightcrawler into the old animated series. Like as a kid,
he had a couple episodes. He had a couple episodes,
but he wasn't as heavily featured as I originally had anticipated. Right? It was like 1 or 2 episodes that he kind of popped up in. Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot.
No. I remember that being pissed about that as a kid because he was my favorite. And he was barely, and he was also, I think Dole and I talked about it, but he was was kind of a downer in the episodes there. So it was great in X-Men 97 that he was like full Nightcrawler, which was great.
Exactly.
But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, keep going.
But yeah, because this is a highly anticipated figure. I mean, a lot of Mondo's figures are highly anticipated, right? I mean, but this particular character, I think it will be an indicator as to, you know, how many people do still, okay, reach deep down in their pockets, cut off other lines and say, hey, I get it. Times are tough, things are weird, prices are going up still, but I'm still in on the X-Men 97 line. Or if you're going the Pride direction, or if you're going Sega Genesis games, whatever, because there are a couple of different alt heads for this particular Nightcrawler, so you can fit in with a few collections. Because that is the fun thing about Nightcrawler too. I don't think you really need like a con exclusive that would make him more one or the other. It's just change the head sculpt. And it's awesome that Mondo at least did that for collectors, right? So people who are going down two different lines, they have their X-Men, the animated series, or 97. Maybe they have both, I don't know, with their different headsets that and they're going Pride. They're kind of mixing it up. Like, well, here. Well, I guess then still technically you're going to need to buy multiple of this Nightcrawler because you need him on those shelves, right? Or you could just have him vamp from one shelf to another shelf. Come on, people, use your minds, be creative. You can flip flop.
That's rich coming from you. You wouldn't even take it out of the box, Quip. You wouldn't even take it out of the box.
I'm just saying, you play with them in your mind. Your mind.
Your mind palace.
That's how grown-ups play with their toys.
And now you're shaming me for playing with toys.
No, I've got a couple things that are open. I do plan to open up the Star Speeder. I didn't open up Tony because I mean the box is part of the allure, and still
cool not knowing in front of the box.
So not knowing the future of that line now, right? Where does it lie? Waiting to hear a little more, but yeah. And
Johnny
collectors need help.
Use my imagination. Gross. Katie says, I don't buy food to eat in my mind. Rick Summers is great. Schrodinger's toys aren't as cool as actual toys.
Well, there you go. See, I've never had a NECA figure crumble in my hands. I've never had QC issues with paint flaking. No, it's just all my toys are nice, neat, little perfect memories.
Let me plus in some chats here. We got the great James Osmus in the chat. Getting to write Nightcrawler comics will always be one of the greatest victories of my life. Awesome. Good to see you, James. Yeah, I mean, Nightcrawler's the coolest. Tony Taponi, another great accessory idea. I don't think it is intended to be a part of it, but I don't know, that'd be cool. Would be cool if this Nightcrawler came with alt suction cup hands, as he did with the Vintage Toy Biz one. But on that one, it was one hand had a suction cup, and then there's another suction cup on his knee. So that if you're doing it properly, that's how that would have to work. And then Walls of Jericho. Gotta disagree, Jay. I thought Nightcrawler was handled a bit better in the OG series. His first episode was damn near perfect. I think it captured that, like the very Catholic part of Nightcrawler really well. I'm not saying not. I like the more fun, Bamfy Nightcrawler. Getting to see that stuff. I don't mind the super religious-y stuff when Nightcrawler's part of his character. Yeah. I just want all of the parts of Nightcrawler. That's all. And then also James mentioning Excalibur, like that's Dole's favorite. So you're
and then Dole told a story on Toy Anxiety. Yes, have some Toy Anxiety, where when he was in Japan, I think he was wearing an X-Men shirt and he just happened to be talking to, I think it was a street vendor for food, and the guy like broken English, they were trying to speak to each other, and even through bridging international lines and language barriers, when asked who's your favorite, Dole said Nightcrawler, and the guy lit up and was like, oh, Nightcrawler? I like Nightcrawler.
I think he's secretly like everybody's favorite X-Men.
Yeah, he's a solid choice for favorite X-Men. He's a fan favorite.
Michael, I love this. It's so easy to dust your collection if it's all in boxes.
I've never heard something topple over and thought, oh, be still my nerdy heart, something broke, right? I've never lost an accessory. It's, it goes back to childhood trauma of me losing different accessories or my parents taking away accessories because we weren't allowed to play with guns. You know, my parents bought me. So I mean, this is Mother's Day. Let me pause.
Oh, yeah. Don't like knock your poor mother on Mother's Day, Quip.
Moving on. Let's just say there's a character in Wildcats that is known as a gunslinger, and would you buy a child this toy if you didn't want them playing with guns, and then immediately upon opening them have all of the guns taken away? All of them. It was like a McFarlane. It was a preview into McFarlane. Releasing some of the figures. Yeah.
She was just trying to protect you, Quip. Okay.
Sure.
I'm on your mom's side on this one. Oh, Jason, I did miss your super chat. Let me plus that in real quick. Sorry, my friend. Here you go. $5 super chat from Jason. Early in the week, I posted a mock-up of Ghostbusters Moto 2 crossover. What do you think of the idea? Let's get it trading, make it happen. I love the idea. I think all of the kind of crossover things are fun. And Ghostbusters had some fun crossovers. The Ninja Turtle ones were great. I still have the Venkman Mikey crossover. And the wrestling WWE ones were fun. So yeah, I have the My Little Pony Ghostbusters, My Little Pony. So yeah, crossover away. I love it. I think it's a great idea. Let's just see how that said, how that works. And Quip said, "Never again," and never opened a single toy since. We're getting the Quip backstory tonight. I love this. We're diving deep into
my lore.
Ryan Dole says, because I think this is a response to Mad Hatter saying he couldn't get past the Blob. Okay, I cleared all the way to the Blob on one token with Nightcrawler. Try that with Logan Dole. And in response, Ryan Dole said, I could get past Blob on 1/4 with Nightcrawler. Let's fight.
Oh,
wow, so like, and then Mad Hatter. I mean, is this our next debate, or is this our next showdown?
It's gonna be.
Do we have it?
Geek Dad Arcade. You need to make sure the chips, the boards aren't modified, and that'd be fun.
Make it happen.
It came off. I like it.
Matt Reviews, don't fill this space with lies, Dole. Matt Reviews, we're fighting now. Yeah, I think this is it. It might be happening in real time. We haven't had a showdown since Dole and I got into a fight about Toy Biz versus Playmates. I don't remember what the fight was.
It was Playmates. He, for some reason, I don't know if Playmates made it to Canada. I don't know why Dole would ever hedge a bet or place a bet on Toy Biz over Playmates. I don't know. It was laughable, to be perfectly honest.
Whoa!
I don't know what he was thinking.
He thinks he won that debate, by the way. I will say.
Okay.
King of Kurt, fistful of tokens. That's one of my favorite movies of all time, by the way. Have you seen King of Kong, Fistful of Tokens?
Oh, it's been a while, but I have. Yeah.
I haven't watched it in a while, but I love that movie. Love that movie. Ryan's old Quip, I won that debate.
Sure, Dan.
Live stream video game challenge pay-per-view. I know VPG can help me out with it. I was at his house a couple weeks ago. He's got a badass video game setup in his home. So we will chat, post we'll figure it out. Hatter, if you and Dole want to have a showdown, an arcade showdown,
that'd be great.
We will make it happen.
We need to come up with a logo. We need matching purple blazers, because you have a purple blazer. I need a purple blazer with the Geek Dad.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Geek Dad the Ocho or whatever.
Yeah. We'll get little microphones and stuff. Hell yeah.
Okay. It's gonna be fun.
All right. There's the Donkey Kong kills. Dude, I don't know if you remember that in the movie. I need to watch that movie again. It's so good.
It's been a while.
Oh my god. Dude, I'm ready anytime to pick up sticks. Anytime.
We
need to find an arcade at SDCC. I will scope. Quip, you grew up in San Diego as well. I'm trying to think of what arcades are left that would have an X-Men arcade.
It's been ages since I've been
I don't
San
know.
Diego.
People that still live in San Diego, I know you watch this show. we need to find a X-Men arcade cabinet because Dolers is going to Comic-Con this year. Mad Hatter will be there. We'll do a showdown. Anyway, we'll figure this out. We will figure this out. It's way more fun than worrying about tariffs. Okay. Quip, any other toy news that we need to talk about as we kind of wrap up things?
Nothing I can think about. We talked about Nightcrawler.
Talk about Nightcrawler. What other things?
Yeah, I can't think of anything else specifically that we had talked about wanting to, bring up.
I'm trying to think of like what, because it's kind of quiet. All the Star Wars pre-orders were up. We already talked about those. A lot of cool. This is interesting. NECA, popular NECA owner, wins the bid for Diamond Comics.
Okay.
Interesting play.
Interesting.
It is getting spicy in the chat. Ryan, I'm gonna call ice on. He could call it on you, though. You would be the foreigner in America. My money's on Mad Hatter, Dole. He's pretty good at video games. I gotta admit, yeah, considering how NECA handles customer service and stuff, I'm not too happy or excited about this.
Yeah, I was racking my brain about how to make a customer service joke, and I was just like, nah, let it go. It's fine.
So now your comics can slip off the table and shatter. You're right. Mattel Creations does have. This was one of your links. You're like, hey, we can talk about this.
Thank you, Smetty45. We did briefly talk about that. Yeah. Okay. All right. What could it be?
Who could
knows?
So what is? I'm confused. I think that's what I had trouble with. Like when you said, hey, should we talk about this? And I don't know what it means.
So similar to, and I feel like part of this is a clever way to empty out the coffers, raise funds to cover some of the surcharge fees for like dead stock, right? But and that again is me knowing absolutely nothing about the toy business, just speculating as a nerd on the internet.
Sure.
But kind of like NECA is going in, finding figures and saying, hey, you're part of the NECA Gold Star Club, so you get access to this thing that's been sitting for ages, or that we're now opening up to like sell for other people. And a couple of those gets have been solid though, right? They re-upped on the cartoon accessory pack.
Exactly.
They re-upped on the cartoon diorama, even though they jacked that price up, which a couple people balked at. But there's been some cool things that NECA Gold Star members have been able to get. All kind of kerfuffles aside from, probably QC stock, exactly. All kerfuffles aside from who is a member, who isn't a member, who's getting the emails, who's not getting the emails, there's still a communication issue with NECA with respect to that. But similar, so Club Grayskull, right? And this kind of reaches back to a comment or a question that I had with respect to Hurricane Hordak. And okay, well, you only got early access, and now that's still up. Is Club Grayskull worth it? They're trying to put the value into Club Grayskull by saying, hey,
sure,
just to give y'all a heads up. I mean, they gave you dates, they gave you times. Only Club Grayskull members will be able to shop for those different Motu collectible items, right? And it says they can't confirm which products it will be, but it's kind of, getting that buzz going, getting people excited. Who's going to see it? Some people are joking already in the chat. Is it the Flesh Tone Stratos?
It better not. If it's the Flesh Tone Stratos, Green Goddess. What that whole wave was just that,
Buzz Off.
The Buzz Off, yeah.
Which
I think Buzz Off sold through that at least.
In mine, Buzz Off and oh my goodness, why am I forgetting his name? It's the villain version. Cool. The villain version of Fisto, who had the karate chop action.
Not Ninja.
I'm forgetting his name. I don't know.
I'm forgetting it too. Sorry, bad fan.
Jitsu. Jitsu sat for a while. Jitsu, Sorceress, Flesh Tone Stratos, and Buzz Off all sat in our area. So
this is the figure that I think most people wish it would be, and we'll see.
That would be awesome.
That rhymed. That was cool. This happens at 12. I think I don't have any meetings tomorrow at 12, so I'll come online tomorrow and we'll see what happens. Maybe there's something cool there or not. But
I'll be at lunch tomorrow. I can always hop on.
I'll jump on. Yeah, feel free.
Okay.
maybe Hatter can get that Goldar now. But like, yeah, I think that's the one that most people miss, and I think has the most resale value. The SDCC2 bad would be cool. Like,
There you go.
hopefully they put a decent amount of stock, because if it's like, okay, there's like one available and it sells out instantly, then okay, was it even worth it? It's gonna piss people off.
Pie in the sky. What could be pretty cool is if this is how they decide to release some of their QC stock for like Eternia. I know a couple people have said, or maybe even King Grayskull just on the side, right?
Ooh, I'd be pissed if it was King Grayskull. I want to be honest.
Yeah, because wasn't it okay? First, you have to be an early bird person, and then they said,
yes,
psych, we're giving it to everybody who ordered it. And then now, if they go to, well, it's still behind.
I think it was still only people that ordered it early. I thought. I didn't think they.
I thought they changed it. I thought it wasn't just everybody.
I don't know. It's very
early.
confusing.
I think people were upset that. But I ordered it on this date, and these other people ordered it after me, and there was a whole kerfuffle and debate on what's the definition of an early bird? Should early bird stay an early bird? You know, I'm just happy other people got an opportunity at it versus other people wanting that exclusivity, right? But yeah, I've had enough rage over King Grayskull. See, yeah, I'm not.
I don't want to go there. Jay's gatekeeping now. This is the best. It's not the gatekeeping. Give everybody King Grayskulls. I don't care. I just know if they put King Grayskull up, there's going to be a lot of pissed off people. I don't want to deal with any pissed off people. That's just me. They changed it if we didn't hit the next minimum threshold to unlock King Grayskull for everyone. So in the end, it just okay. So there you go. Only early birds got them.
Okay,
it'll be battle armor King Grayskull.
It'll be King Grayskull with wings and repacked with Stratos. That's what it is. Be King Grayskull chilling with the Stratos army. There you
go. Black Boy Toy Joy. Everybody got it whether they ordered it early or not. No, I didn't think that was the case.
I think there was a threshold, and then people kind of were excited that it didn't actually get out to everybody. That's how I'm remembering. People are jogging my memory. So yeah.
Patrick, I was probably a toy anxiety sad comment at the time. Hey, listen, we've all been there, right? I think we've all at some point have said a comment that could have been a sad comment.
Dear Mr. Mattel Creator, I hate your stinking guts. You are scum between my toes.
You gotta do it in the Jacob inflection. So yeah, I don't think it'll be anything new. It'll just be what's left over, what's QC stuff, and then they'll put it out there. And we'll, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I don't think it'll be anything new. But anywho, we had a super chat here from Chad Stewart. $5 on Mad Hatter for the win.
Oh, do we need to get gambling sponsorships?
Yeah, exactly. We'll get DraftKings or whatever.
There you go. Yeah. Let's reach out.
Hey, I hear it's good money. All right. I, for one, am all for betting in sports. No issues there. It's great.
Free Pete Rose. All right, moving on.
She should. At this point, Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
MOB, you lost your moral high ground on that one.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
I'll collect all betting licenses. I'll be keeping it. Oh my good. This has gotten spicy. It's gotten spicy, and I'm here for it. In regards to someone deporting Dole, since he will be a foreign national in San Diego, maybe Colleen can marry Dole to make him a citizen and get a cyborg. That's a possible move. Mike Davis, Rocky 4 vibes with this arcade battle.
It's in the streets. There's going to be jean jackets involved. Wait,
that's
no, that's 5. Ooh,
that's
4.
5
that's
is right. The street.
4 is Drago. Okay, so
4 is Drago.
So is Mad Hatter coming out with to James
if he dies,
Brown,
he dies.
Well,
who's Drago in this situation?
I guess. I mean, Mad Hatter is American, so I mean,
but see, Living in America, that was Apollo Creed. He got killed by Drago.
Yeah.
Then Rocky
Yeah.
has to like have vengeance against Drago.
Huh.
I'm just saying, I don't want to die. All right, I don't want to be Apollo. I don't want to die. Wow, man. I'll wait for my American citizenship. If I lose, I give it to Ryan Dole.
That could be legally binding. Be very careful how you joke, Hatter. There's all sorts of craziness going on. Somebody's going to admit that to court. Geek Dad Life.
No, I won't go back on Steve Harvey. I won't do it. I won't
part of
do
legal
it.
Proceedings. Did you not say on the evening of May 11th that you would? Yeah.
Who is going to AI a movie poster for this? Mad Hatter is Hulk Hogan. Throw the damn towel. Oh God. I didn't realize, season 4 of Steve Harvey, Judge Steve Harvey is Steve Harvey, immigration judge. Anyway. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe this will be some cool stuff on Monday. Tomorrow. So
tomorrow.
Yep. So
12, 9 a.m. Bright and early. Pacific time. So
specific time. So 12 our time on the East Coast. The Beast Coast. Only ice Ryan Dole will be getting is the Iceman Blast combo in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Are we doing multiple games now?
I think there's been some chatter, some Hatter chatter, if you will, about Marvel vs. Capcom. I think it was best of 7.
Okay,
and then so playing through the quarter. So it's going to be a gauntlet. There's a whole Geek Dad Games that's happening right now. See if we can get John Williams to work on the theme. Somebody give him a quick buzz here if he's available. You know,
you know what? He's still working. I guess so. Oh goodness. Super 7 has reactions going up Wednesday. Fingers crossed for Back to the Future. Oh, that'd be dope.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Because the first pass at Back to the Future, that was like when Funko was partnered with Super 7 or with the reactions.
I remember those.
Those are trash. Those are not good at all. So
those are somebody's favorite figures, Jay.
Are they though?
Are they? Should they be?
Sure about that. Sure about that. It'll be televised.
Mm-hmm.
Revolution will be televised. Any chances, Master? I'm sure there'll be some. I think it's just a warehouse.
It's gonna be a bunch of different Motu stuff. Yeah.
And I assume there'll be different stock. And then
I think it'd be really exciting if we hop on at noon and we see that they've got a couple of QC Eternius. That would just be cool for people.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be down with it. Yeah. All right. That's I think that's a good place to stop it. Hey, if you want to keep this party going, we're gonna keep it going over on our Patreon. So become a patron. Patreon.com/geekdeadlife. $5. Come hang out with us. Because the theme of the episode will be Hunting Menace. So given all this Power of the Force 2 I've been buying for the Power of the Force 2 podcast on Toy Geeks, I'm kind of like, and then watching Phantom Menace again, and you talking about Phantom Menace and the lightsaber fight and all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of just like, you know what? I think I'm gonna start getting some of these sweet Phantom Menace figures that are still really
good
cheap.
Figures. There's some really good figures. I was looking at these aren't the figures I'm doing my these aren't the figures
you're looking for.
These aren't the figures that I was looking for in order to do the review as part of the May the Power of the Force Be With You too, with A Punk with Toys and with Alice and Troy. I'm doing another character, but I forgot all about the deluxe figures, and maybe we'll talk about this a little more in this little preview.
I kind of want to do a little draft, like maybe a little snake draft or something, and then just kind of go through and see which ones I want to go with. So if you want to come hang out with us, I also got some toy hauls I got to share, so I'll be sharing that too. Toys that I will open, Quip.
Good for you.
And And hey, listen, battle of the century, or at least battle of the year. Mad Hatter Reviews and Ryan Dole have stated intentions to have a showdown through the original X-Men arcade game and or Marvel vs. Capcom 2. We don't have a place maybe at Comic-Con. We're going to figure it out, folks.
Well, you know what? We don't need John Williams to write new music for it, because if this is the battle of the century, I think well, let's see if we can get the rights for see if we can actually get the Scottish choir to come and sing it live at San Diego Comic-Con.
SDCC Sad Dole can't conquer the hat.
Oh snap. It's getting real.
Going up Parquet Team No. Downtown San Diego. Right, though. Cancel the Toy Tuber panel and just make it Hatter versus Dole panel instead.
Ooh.
Michael, as a mock collector, I'm feeling demons attack tonight.
Thank you,
Hashtag Team
Michael.
Quip. Anyway, a lot of fun coming up. Again, this week, the next episode of Toy Geeks, really excited. 1998 Part 2. We'll be joined by Griffin Newman, who stars in a lot of things. But one of my favorite podcasts, Playing Check with Griffin and David. So really excited for that episode. We already recorded it. It's a jumbo-sized one. I think it's like almost 2.5 hours. So a lot of fun, a lot of discussions in there. So that's going to be released. Quip, any other things you're going to be on this week?
This week? No. I know
Maybe
there's another project.
Oh
yeah.
About
Jump in
tomorrow?
for the announcement tomorrow at lunch. I can definitely do that.
Oh, look at Quip. See, there's literally dozens of you.
There's 3 of us. There we go. I'm hitting box lunch. This is all good.
Yeah, plays Orko. Also Arthur on the Tick. Just he's a toy geek. And again, one of the best I've ever heard of a childhood toy discovery thing. I'm excited to hear his story. Mind blown about it, to be completely honest. So that's about as big as I can make you all excited for it. But yeah, so tomorrow on this channel we'll be talking about or we'll be looking at seeing what this warehouse find thing will be all about. So anyways, patrons, will see you in After Dark. Everybody else, see you tomorrow if you want to come in lunchtime on Eastern Standard Time. We'll be seeing what Mattel puts up on Mattel Creations for this, whatever it is, Cub Grayskull Motu warehouse sale or whatever it ends up being. And we'll see you all next time. Hasta luego and goodbye. Take care, everybody.